and welcome to another vlog. Today we are back looking at 2019 and specifically we are recapping my New Year's resolution and seeing how well I did. Which I'm not sure it's going to go too well, but we'll see. Before we get started, if you do want notifications for my videos and want to be the first to see everything and never miss out, make sure you do subscribe and turn on notifications. I know YouTube's been really dodgy lately with notifications, so please make sure if you are interested, consider that subscribe and notification bell. I do also have a range of social media, so make sure you go follow me on there too for extra alerts if you want them, as well as some extra behind the scenes stuff. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started. If you've not seen my 2019 New Year resolution, I do recommend you go and start with checking that out first. But if you haven't, no worries, but the links will be on screen and in the description if you want them. Anyway, this should hopefully make sense regardless. So if you're a bit lost, that'll be why. And don't worry, go check out that vid. To recap quickly, the way I set up my resolution is I do them in categories. Within those there are little mini targets, mini goals. I then score those based on a percentage of how well I did on each thing, and then give the category as a whole an average based on this. From that, I then add up the averages for each category and divide it by the number of categories to see how well I have performed overall. In 2019, I split my target areas into the following. Firstly, health, family and home, friendships and relationships, Shuri Gaming, and work and interests. So without further ado, let's get started with health. So within health, I wanted to get on top of my medication, which I kind of feel I've 50-50 done, so we'll give that 50%. I wanted to work on my stress levels and depression, so I think I've pretty much cracked that, so we'll give that 100%, although obviously stress probably could do with a little more work in the grand scheme of things. And thirdly, I wanted to eat better and cut down takeaways to one every 3 months, and I have definitely done that, although I feel maybe moving into next year I can maybe go a step further. So all in all, so that's a 50%, 100%, 100%, so that brings health to 83.33%, which is pretty decent. I'm quite happy with that. Secondly is family and home. So within this I had spent more time with mum. I think I've kind of half and half done that, to be honest, although I think there's definitely room for improvement. Secondly, support my dad with his work more consistently, and I have to admit I probably failed on this one for a few different reasons, so I'm going to give that a nil point. Thirdly, finish cleaning my bedroom. I have done that. There is a few little tweaks that need doing, but other than that, basically that, so hey. So I'm going to give that 100%. Oh, pardon me. And then get my office tidy. Well, it's a tip, to say the least. I have done a few little things, but it really is a drop in the ocean compared to the amount of mess in here. So I'm going to give that a 0 as well and put that on the agenda for next year as well. So all in all, that means family and home, if my math is correct, is 50%, 0%, 100%, and 0%, which comes to 37.5% on average. Pretty crap. I need to work on that a lot. Moving on, section 3, friends and relationships. Now I think I've done a lot better here. So I'm going to continue to apply my no BS policy. I have done that 100%. Totally happy I've got that. Build more bridges with people online and offline. I've definitely done this. Not so much online, but definitely IRL. I feel like I've got a bigger network of friends, or at least people I talk to a little bit more anyway. So again, could be some improvement, but I think I've pretty much hit the nail on the head for where I wanted to be with it anyway, at least. Thirdly, continue to go out at least once a week. I've basically done that unless I've been ill, so I think again that's another one I can just go tick, done, sorted, bish bash bosh. And lastly, learn to love and trust. And well, things are going really swimmingly with Josh. I think I'm getting there. I'm still quite wary of some people, so I'm going to call that one a 50%er. So all in all, again, if my math is correct, that brings the topic to 87.5%, which I'm pretty comfortable with, especially given how long-term some of those goals are. So all in all, not bad, not bad. So fourth, Shuri Gaming. So this one is definitely one that is going to need some work. In part, I can put some of this down to the big change in personal situation and the fact that I was ill for 3 months at the beginning of the year. But let's start ticking through. So streaming, I've done a little bit, so I'm going to give that a 10%. Streams schedule of 4 days a week. I've I think I was a tiny section of the year where I did that, but I've just not been able to keep up with it, so I'm really sorry, guys. I'm going to give myself a nil point on that one. I really have failed on that front, and I acknowledge that and hold my hands up to it, guys. I'm really sorry. However, in contrary, I set myself a YouTube target of 2 uploads per month, and I've pretty much smashed that since I've got going in the summer. So I'm pretty comfortable to say I've achieved that. So I'm going to give that 100%. Then next on the list is website updates. So updating the theme, fixing bugs, features, blah, blah, more content. I have done some more content. It just hasn't been very consistent, although the videos have been going up there, so you could say that's content. Updating the theme has just fallen by the wayside because of some complications with it. Fixing bugs I have been doing, adding and editing features as a whole side note. So I haven't really done a huge amount of that. So I'm going to call that a 10% as well. I'm going to be quite strict with myself on that one. So next is community feedback and involvement. So I wanted to have party games once a month on stream. Again, because the stream side of things has just gone out of whack. I haven't been able to do that. More options for feedback. We do have the forms, and they are there. I know people haven't really been using them a huge amount, but again, that's probably just due to the fact I haven't been streaming much. And then doing the special events. Well, I missed Halloween. I missed my birthday. Christmas, we might be able to do something, but it's going to be awkward because I'm not actually here, so I don't have access to my computer. So it may be somewhere between Christmas, Boxing Day, and New Year for the Christmas thing that I end up doing, rather than being on Christmas Day, just because of logistics issues this year. I am planning to do it. I'm hoping to at least have one event of the 3 done. I was hoping to do the birthday stuff, but I was away for my birthday and then some stuff happened. So I might be able to squeeze a late birthday thing in this weekend. Although my birthday was on the 20th of November and it's now it's the middle of December when I'm recording this. So here's what it is. All in all, though, based on my math, that brings this topic to 42.16%. So pretty disappointing, to be honest, but I know where I need to work on things. So hopefully next year I can do better. And finally, section 5, work and interests. So my first objective was to get a job. Now, I did actually do this. I did manage to get a job. However, it fell through in the space of a month due to complications. I can't really talk about it too much, but what's the most diplomatic way of me putting this? They didn't fulfill on their promises, and they set me up to fail from day one. I drastically improved and got a lot better, but they were totally unrealistic, especially given how much I'd told them I did not have expertise in that area and needed training, and they gave me a little bit, but nowhere near as much as what they promised. So all in all, it was going to fall through. I really can't say too much because I don't want to get in trouble in case they see this video or my channel. I doubt they ever will, but I'm just erring on the side of caution, guys. It's just not worth picking a fight at this stage. So I did hit the achievement of getting a job. I just failed to keep it and make any progress with it. So I'm going to call that 50-50. But yeah, improvement needed. Second thing on the list was saving money. I had a target of £500 to £1,000. I'll put my hands up to this one. I have catastrophically failed on this one. I think due to the fact that the whole job thing didn't pan out and everything else, I've actually ended up losing money this year, and quite a significant amount. I'm not going to disclose how much, but enough that it's a concern, let's put it that way. And I'm not bad with money management by any stretch. The issue is just how restricted my income is with my existing job. So bear in mind that I'm just above minimum wage and I only get 6.25 hours a week at my job, and there's just no flexibility of going anywhere with it. So you can see why it's a bit of a struggle. This is however something I want to work on. I'm gonna find a way one way or another. So I'll figure out a solution. But yeah, as far as objectives are concerned, I failed this one catastrophically, and I hold my hand up to it. Next, get back into enjoying the Games Workshop hobby. Now, I have bought some models. I did get some of those. I can't remember if it was I think it was actually last year I bought them, and I haven't done anything with them. I've got them in a box. They're all set to go. But I'd love to stream putting them together and you know, and painting them and stuff. So that's why I've been holding off on it. On the other side of it, however, I have been occasionally buying the magazines and having a good read. So I have thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'd say I have somewhat got back into my Games Workshop hobby, and I am enjoying it. So I call that a 50%er. Thirdly, continue enjoying Dungeons and Dragons. Absolutely. I've been pretty much every week, with the exception of obviously when I was ill at the beginning of the year, so I can tick that off as 100%. My next objective was to try 3 new hobbies. Now, I've kind of done this, kind of not, because I got into some other board gaming stuff and a few other bits and pieces, but again, with the income situation, it's kind of making it difficult for me to do this. So I'm going to call that a 50% achieved. Nearing the end now, get back to reading more regularly. Again, this ties in with the whole magazine thing. I've been doing lots of reading with books. I've got a ton of books on my desk right now that I'm reading. So I would say, although I'm not consistently back reading, I am reading. So again, I'm going to be strict with myself and call this a 50%er. And then the other thing, finally, is to walk more and maybe get involved in a sport. Now, I haven't been able to get involved in a sport, but I have definitely been walking a lot more, and it did start to show earlier this year when the weather was better, because I was losing quite a bit of weight. However, it's kind of piled back on, what with the bad weather, and then obviously I piled a load on at the beginning of the year after I had to recover from being ill, because I did end up down at about 13 stone, which I know is still ridiculously heavy, but I ended up piling it back on when my digestive system was getting it sorted, and I ended up, back at like 17 and a half stone at one point, because I had to eat, I had to get stuff in me, because my digestive system was so out of whack. It was awful. I think I'm about 59 at the moment. I was about 15, 14, 12, something like that at one point, and I was keeping that fairly stable. So I have put a little bit back on, but I'm hoping once the weather gets better, I can really crack at that one. All in all, though, based on the averages and the numbers I've run, it comes out at about 60.09% overall, which is disappointing, especially compared to previous years. But I think given the issues at the beginning of the year with being ill and the financial problems that are spurring a lot of problems with reaching my other objectives, I think I'm not doing too bad. But yeah, I think the main crux of everything is I need to get my social situation more in line. That will help the streaming side of things come into place, and then I need to sort the financials out. So getting that job that I can stick at and just roll with, even if it's just 12, 14 hours a week, it's gonna make all the difference. So I'm gonna put even more effort into doing it. I'm actually looking at maybe other ways to do it. Maybe go and do another qualification or an apprenticeship or something, maybe, to try and find other ways to get employment. So that's just something I'm thinking about at the moment. If any of you guys have any recommendations though, or ideas, I would really appreciate your thoughts, because that would really, really help me out. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video. If you have enjoyed this video or found it informative or interesting, do please consider liking the video or joining me down in the comments section for an open discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on my resolution recap, and I'd love to know if you are making a resolution going into 2020. If you can, let me know what your tips are for sticking to a New Year's resolution. I'd love to hear your ideas, because I really want to do really well moving into 2020 with my new resolution. The link for which, again, will be in the description when it becomes available. If you've not already considered joining our community and are new here today, please do consider being a subscriber and turning on notifications. It doesn't cost you anything at all, and it will make sure you are the first to know about every single video and never miss out. Anyway, I will see you in 2020, guys, for more derping. Have a wonderful day. Bye.